Michigan got the shutout. It got close there in the fourth quarter, but finally the second string players and the backup players, third string players were able to hold off, and the team was able to get the shutout victory Saturday night in East Lansing. It's what I was hoping for. Maybe not as many points as some people were anticipating or some people that were wishing for, but honestly, you got to be happy with everything. Even with that snafu right before halftime, it was a great performance by the offense and the defense. So as much as I don't like talking about it, we will take a minute to talk about the whole Michigan stealing signs situation, as there was yet another development. Now, at this point, with the amount of the information that they do have, if they came out and said they were having their investigation and there were accusations and things at this point, that makes a lot more sense, because they're saying that they now have been provided with evidence, where before it was just hearsay. Somebody would say something and they were basing off that. Looking into it, sure, but it blew up into such a huge thing last week, even before any supposed evidence was offered. Even with the evidence and even with the weird setup of the rules, we'll have to see how far it goes. If there was a clear violation of rules, then they're going to have consequences and they're going to have to deal with it. Now, a lot of people are saying that they think that should be just a staff person that things should be targeted at. But at the end of the day, and I've said this with other cases with other teams, the head coach is responsible for his program and for his staff. So depending on how widespread this was, it'll be really interesting to see if anything does reach Harbaugh and become his responsibility to take on some of those consequences. Some people are looming and fearing that the Big Ten might step in and vacate wins, do things to that degree. Who knows? I certainly don't know that information well enough. And even reading the stuff that has been offered and provided online, I can't make complete sense of it. So this is going to be one of those things where time will tell and we'll find out. Some people say that might be swift justice. Other people are comparing it to things that have happened in the past where it's been drug out for 3 to 5 years. But if we've seen anything from the NCAA and how they like to handle things with Harbaugh in particular, they like to move faster than slow. Again, we'll have to wait and see. Time will tell. So moving forward, I don't plan on talking about that a whole lot. I don't have the knowledge for it. You're going to find better resources out there and better opinions on it. So I'll mainly still be talking about football, and there was plenty of football played on Saturday night. I mean, honestly, can just let the highlight reel roll as we're talking about this, because it was another prolific night for J.J. McCarthy, who went 21 for 27 and had 287 yards, 4 touchdowns, and no interceptions. He threw touchdown passes to Barner, 2 passes to Loveland, a touchdown pass to Wilson. And he was fitting some of those balls in tight windows. He was making excellent throws. Some people have been coming down on Michigan for the lack of their running game this season, which I haven't been too concerned about, because J.J. McCarthy has been taking care of business. Personally, I think that you notice that a lot of teams are trying to shut down Michigan's running game and force McCarthy to do more. Some of the things similar to maybe what you saw TCU force Michigan into in the game last season. However, all the opponents that Michigan has been facing against have not been able to cause the same havoc that TCU did for the team. McCarthy still stepped up in that game. He has stepped up this season. And while the running backs don't have a huge number of yards, but Corum is still getting into the end zone, I think it's just a matter of time when a team tries to shut down Michigan through the air on defense, and that will open up the field of play for the running backs to get huge chunk yards. The team did not falter. The team did not get distracted, and they went out and honestly, they were seconds away from adding 7 more points onto this game, making it 56-0. But you can't argue at that much. They did a great job. The backups and second strings did well. And it was all in all a fun game to watch. We also need to mention that against the Big Ten's best third down defense, Michigan went 7 for 11 on the day. still successful, still moving the ball down the field. Definitely cannot take things away and not mention the defense, because they forced the Spartans to only convert on 6 of 16 third downs. Total yards for the Spartans, 182. The Wolverines were able to capitalize on 2 interceptions, one that led to a pick six, and the other one which helped lead to the final score of the game late in the fourth quarter. Fantastic job by the Michigan Wolverines on both sides of the ball. So great job for the Michigan Wolverines as they're heading into their bye week. They have a lot of things going for them. They have a lot of distractions going on. So hopefully that, in combination with the bye week, will not compile itself and cause any more issues for them. They do come out of the bye week facing Purdue at home for yet another night game. And so we'll be talking about that next week. But this actually works out well for where things are for me to be able to get this bye weekend, because things have been crazy with work. And so I wish I was able to put more into my videos, but it's going to be nice to have a little bit of a break here and then bounce back and get refreshed to pick things back up with the Purdue preview. So until we come back for that, I hope you all do have a good week, a good weekend for the bye. Enjoy some of the other college football games, and we'll be back in about a week for the preview episode of Purdue. So until then, take it easy and go blue.